Hey, what's up guys? Justin at Empire Music, empiremusic.com, right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And today I'm going to be talking Powers Electrics, the Powers Electric A-Type, specifically these wonderful two-tone limited edition A-Types that just came in. So we're still waiting on a few colorways. We ordered a bunch at the NAMM show this year and we're finally starting to see them roll in. We're going to talk about them in a second. So I get excited about Powers. There's a new line for Empire Music. It's a new line in general. It hasn't been around more than, what, a couple years, if that, at this point. And they're wonderful guitars. We'll talk about them in a second. First, I want to remind you, all the guitars in this video are available to view and purchase, ultimately, at empiremusic.com. So go there, you'll see there are a lot of different feature sets on these guitars. A lot of similarities, but a lot of differences. So you can go there, check out the full specs on these. All the colors will be listed there by serial number. All our guitars are listed by serial number with nice fresh images of every guitar. So go check that out. We take trades on all this stuff. We do long distance trades all the time. We're experts at it. We want your trades. So if you see something in this video or otherwise on the site that you're interested in and you want to unload some gear, just give us a call, go to the website, chat with us. We'll get one of these dialed in, set up, and shipped out to you. We'll pick up your trade, send you a prepaid shipping label. So let's talk Powers Electric A-Types. The Powers Electric A-Type, like I said, fresh for Empire Music. November of 2024 is when we came on board with Powers. And it has been a really excellent ride since then. We're here in the early spring of 2025 and fresh back from the NAMM show a couple months ago where the folks from Powers Electrics had dealers to it was a really kind of a low-key event. It was in the top of a hotel in the chairman's suite, and it was kind of a vibe going on there. You had Andy Powers in the room. He's mingling with some dealers and talking Powers Electrics, what people like about them, whatnot, some music playing. And throughout the room, they had these new kind of fresh guitars. So two tones. Up until now, the guitars have all been one tone. So what Powers is doing is really expanding the line, and they're doing that with colorways, which is really part of the story of these guitars. These are largely inspired by automobiles, hot rods, surf and skate. And what better way to tie in an automobile finish than a two-tone finish? So we have 5 limiteds in this series, and they're only doing a limited run in all these finishes. So they're very limited production. We have at least 2 of each on the way, if not here already, and we spec these out. So let's talk a little more about it. So Powers Electric in general, and I have multiple videos on these guitars, various gain pedals, amps. Every time I do one of these videos, I like to kind of give you a different look at this guitar. So the intro here, I just had some tremolo, relatively clean guitar, tremolo and delay. I have other videos where you'll hear a lot of overdrive on these guitars. So let's get into it. I'll kind of go through the specs, and there's a lot to cover on these guitars. I'm going to keep it as simple as I can. I get excited about these. I own one of these guitars. It's what I play. It's my number one right now. I play it both kind of by myself at home, and I play it in a band setting, and it's, like I said, it's my number one. There's a lot of cool stuff here. So let's talk about first the pickups. Pickups on these guitars designed and built in-house with Powers Electrics. We have the PF42 on this guitar here, and to the one on the stand here, this is the FF42. So PF stands for partial Faraday, FF stands for full Faraday. What that means is the full Faraday has this full aluminum enclosure, a Faraday cage around the magnets, around the pull pieces. What that does, that throws the magnetic range out very wide, so you get a really fat, kind of flatter, fatter sounding pickup. Very warm, very clear. The PF42 still has an aluminum ring around it, but they remove some material on that. So the result is it's the same exact winding, but this pickup kind of hits your amp a little hotter. more of a mid-range to it. So a little more bite on the PF42 that I'm playing, and a little more of a rounded, mellower than the PF42 tone on the FF42. So those are the pickups. Really excellent design and unlike anything else out there right now. So the body on these guitars, it's a full hollow body. So no F-holes, but it's a full hollow body. 2 sound posts under the bridge connect the top and the back of the guitar. So really rich, round, resonant tone. And you know, with the PF42s, I really like the way that this sounds. Is what I play personally. Ash body, maple top. The maple top is built into this guitar under tension, so it's kind of bent back. You can kind of see the arm bevel here. Actually bend this top back, and it's trussed around the edges, and they actually place this top into the body under tension. So really livens up the top of this instrument, and really gives you a lot of attack off of your pick, which is really cool. Sounds great. Camtail bridge on this one. Hardtail bridge is another option in this series. So the camtail, there's a lot packed into this piece right here. It's a very, very stable tremolo. It's very musical. What I love about it is you can play a full chord and you can depress the trem arm and everything moves in relative pitch. So you can, it almost acts more like a lap steel at that point when you're using this, which is really cool. Again, very stable. Hardtail, you could argue, a little more stable. So that option exists in the various configurations you see in this video, various pickup configurations and bridge configurations. So check it out. All right, let's talk neck in overall construction, and then we'll talk about all the colors here because there's a lot to talk about. So the neck, we have a mahogany neck set into the body very well. It makes a lot of contact with the body, the way that these guitars are constructed. So the big story about this guitar is resonance, and it really is one of the things that struck me when I got one of these guitars home, kind of played it in my natural habitat, was just really all the harmonics that you get off of this instrument. It's almost, I think of it more like a piano in terms of all the overtones that you get through a clean amp versus more traditional guitars that I own and play. And part of the reason why is really kind of how well this is constructed, both on the truss body, the maple top that's put on the guitar under tension, and the neck that's really glued into the guitar very well. But the neck kind of acts like a tuning fork. It's a one-piece mahogany neck with a Honduran rosewood fingerboard, and those materials work really well to give you that really rich, kind of complex tone, talking harmonics and richness. Again, very piano-like. So the neck profile itself is a Powers electric carve, and what is that? It's very C-like. I've held some of these that I almost want to call this neck V-like, but it's really not. There's something about it though that in my hands, there's like it just fits really well, and maybe that's what it is. Ergonomically, it really fits the hand well. 1 11/16 inch nut width and an asymmetrical fingerboard radius, split radius. So what that means is instead of the midpoint of your radius being in the middle of the fingerboard, it's moved ever so slightly to the bass side. That allows you to, it still feels very natural. It allows for bigger bends on your treble strings without fretting out, which is really smart. And it's not something that I almost wouldn't know it's there unless somebody told me. But once you know it's there, it's like, that makes a lot of sense as to why this feels and plays the way it does. Very buttery feeling neck. All right, now let's talk finishes, because that's really the big story with these limited edition models. So this is the first time Powers is doing a two-tone with their existing solid color finishes, which is really cool. A really cool effect. Like I said before, really ties in the hot rod inspiration to the Powers electric line. So in my hands is the mint green top with a fjord green back and sides. Also on the stand here next to me with the FF42 pickups. Behind me, larkspur blue top with an Oslo blue back and sides. And you see we did that a couple different ways. We have both the cam tail and the hardtail, and with various pickups, various pick guards. So the fire stripe and the paroloid, which is really cool. And you'll see how they match anytime you have the PF42 pickups, how they match. The fire stripe gets the darker PF42 pickup, and the paroloid gets paroloid. No, I don't have any paroloids here to show you, but trust me, the paroloid PF42s have the paroloid around the pickup as well. Behind me here is the Hemi Orange with a, thought I could remember it, crystal red metallic back and sides, and aubergine top with a ruby star back and sides. And another one on the way, there's a Dolomite silver with a London fog back and sides. So all really cool finishes. Again, all of these finishes have been around in Powers, but not as two-tones yet. So mint green, one of my favorites that Powers does. I think I have one of those on the way currently. And then we match, you know, this is dealer's choice, but we match the color of the knobs to the guitars. So Powers has options. This is, they call this cool, this lighter color palette that you see on the mints here. Also cool on the blues, although you see that they incorporated a little more green on these mints, which is really cool. And then the warm knobs on the orange behind me. And what do we do? Yeah, we did cool on the aubergine, which actually has a little purple in it. So those knobs kind of pop a little bit. It's always fun to play with colors on these and see how they work out. So let's play through this specific guitar. Again, we have videos on the FF42s. I'm going to give you some sound samples on the PF42s here, and we'll reconvene. at the PF42 pickups in these limited edition two-tone Powers Electric A-types. You want to check out the whole collection, go to the website, check them out. We have more than just the limiteds there. We have a really nice selection of Powers Electrics. Always taking orders on Powers Electrics too, so if there's a finish that you're curious about, I want to see if we can do it, hit us up. You can email me directly, justin@empiremusic.com, and we'll get you the right guitar. And really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.